Good afternoon, everyone. This is Julie Hyde from Distinctive Leadership, and welcome to Webinar 3, the final in our series, What Every Person Should Know About Leadership in Business. Today, we're focused on leadership in marketplace, and this is a huge topic, so I have lots of great information to share with you today. Now, hopefully by now, if you weren't actually on the live webinars over the past couple of weeks, you've had the chance to listen to the Leader of Leader and Leader of Team webinars. And I trust you have got some really great insights and implemented some of the strategies that we discussed, or they may be on your to-do list. Now, what we have focused on in the first webinar, which is Leader of Leader, was very much around communication and the leadership style of the leader, and also implementing a structure for leadership success, which is absolutely critical to make sure that there is a structure implemented to support your leadership. So there are some of the things that we covered up on Leader of Leader, and we provided lots of tools and tips to put into your leadership toolkit to get the best out of yourself and position yourself effectively as an effective leader. We then moved on to Leader of Team last week in Webinar 2. So again, we very much focused around communication, how you communicate with your team, how you connect with your team. Again, implementing a structure to support the communication and connection to your team to increase productivity and efficiency, and also looking at a reward and recognition program for your team, which is lacking in a lot of small to medium business from my observations, and is something that can contribute significantly to the motivation levels of your team. So there's some of the things that we touched on in the previous two webinars. You know, that's summarized in all of 3 minutes, whereas we spent a good 50 minutes to an hour on those webinars. So there's lots of information in there for you. So if you have implemented some of the strategies that we have suggested for you as a leader, you'll be clear and have absolute clarity in your direction, and you'll be firing. Your team will be working more efficiently as well, and feeling a lot more motivated. And if they're getting rewarded for their performance, and I appreciate this was only last week, but even if you have been saying the odd, thank you for putting in, thank you for staying back, just thank you for being here, you'll be noticing a big difference. So what you're actually doing is you will be building a sustainable, committed and dynamic workplace in line with your vision. So by ensuring that you and your leader and your team are fit and firing and ready for business, it's now time to move on to marketplace. So can you see the logical flow to the distinctive leadership system? When you have a robust structure in place and are communicating with clarity, your results can only improve. It all starts at the top. And when your team are meeting your expectations and are clear on what, why and how to perform their role, you can do all the things that you need and really want to do as the leader, which is to get out there in your marketplace and to build your profile. And as I mentioned to you in our first webinar, I really do believe we have such a wonderful opportunity as a leader to make a positive difference in people's lives, extending to society as a whole. And we can achieve this through conscious leadership. So this is something that we're going to touch on today. And by equipping yourself and your team to manage yourselves effectively, you're now fit, match fit and ready to manage your client base. So what we're going to focus on today is leader of marketplace. And the three key areas of leadership of marketplace that I'm going to touch on is sales, critically important for a business, probably the number one. Clients, the bread and butter of the business, and also networking. So they're the three things that we're going to focus on today. So we've got some big stuff to cover off on. So at the end of the webinar today, you'll walk away with some strategies to increase your sales, to service your clients even better than you currently are, and some ideas around networking and what is important before you even head out and network in your marketplace. Just touching back on what I mentioned in the first webinar, at the moment, business people, including your clients, have these top 5 things on their minds right now, which is, potential interest rate increases, the Australian dollar being on parity with the US dollar, the US economy, the changing government in Australia and in Victoria, and the increasing challenges faced by retail business right now. As we move into the future, these 5 things will be replaced by another 5 things, or they may stay consistent. But they will affect not only you, but they'll affect your clients and how your clients do business with you and how you do business with them. So as a business leader, you need to be really on top of this. We're really moving back to humanizing business. Word of mouth is going to dominate. People are looking for connection and a place to belong. We're moving back from a time of being encouraged to use technology for service and are being and directed to, say, call centres or computers to check our business matters. And we're now being encouraged back to talk with people, back to relationship-based selling. Over time, our clients have got a lot more savvy too. They're able to access information on the web for comparison and fact. And in the new world of social media, dynamics have changed further by people now looking within the circle that they are connected to, which their circle can now be huge and extend across networks that would never have been possible years ago. So people now seek solutions within these networks, not necessarily within their local geographic location. So if I think about myself, for example, I utilize LinkedIn to network myself and connect with many business owners. Now, currently I have about 500 connections on LinkedIn. If I hadn't even thought that I would have a 500 person network 3 or 4 years ago, I would have thought that that would just be insane. Now, these people are from all over Australia and also across the world. Now, if I need something, I might put out a call to that network of people and say, hey guys, do you know anyone who is a great website developer, for example? And they might come back with their recommendations of someone that they have worked with or an associate, and I might check them out. I might be less inclined to actually search on the internet for a provider. So competition is really tough now in business, and even more so. It's critical to ensure that you are prominent in your marketplace and in your clients' minds. People are looking for authenticity, honesty, and trustworthiness in people. If they don't receive that, they're going to look elsewhere. and your competitor will be very happy to receive them from you. So what we're going to have a look at in the first component is leadership of sales, and that is what I call sales through relationships and also top of mind strategy. So in our new economy, people are really sick of in-your-face selling and advertising. Let me share a stat with you that 78% of people trust peer recommendation and only 14% of people trust peer advertising. Now, I don't know how many people I've heard mention that they get so agitated and angry with the advertising on TV, for example, because it's so loud. It's louder than the TV program. So you might turn the volume up to hear your TV program, and then when the ads come on, it nearly blows you out of the room. So rather than attracting clients, it might actually repel them and infuriate them. So I'm not sure about you, but I can sniff out a guy or a girl who is only after a sale. Someone who could not care about me or what best suits me, but just wants to seal the deal. Now, if I feel pressured in any way, I will walk away. And I'm really careful who I spend my money with now. I know what I want, and I want value. And I want to speak to someone who is knowledgeable and who can provide me with the accurate information that I want. So it very much comes down now to sales through relationships. Now you and your team are your brand ambassadors. People buy people. Very much the way they buy, a product or service. It is based on an emotional response, and then it's justified later. So if their intuition is telling them that something's a little bit off with this person, then the sale is compromised. So how you build relationships with your clients will be critical to your sales success. So it very much comes back to how you build trust with your clients, how you build rapport with them. Do you genuinely care about them? How well do you actually know your clients? What are the objectives and long-term goals that they're trying to achieve? Are there any factors that may need to come into consideration if you're providing a proposal to your clients? If you're in the professional services industry, for an example, you might send your client a proposal. So have you covered off on all bases to make sure that the solution that you're providing them does meet all of their needs, or are you just sending something out because it's a standard thing that you actually do? Have a simple conversation with your clients and or your potential clients. You need to be very confident of the value that you can add to your clients. What is it that you are fulfilling? What is the need that you are fulfilling? What is the problem that you're actually solving? So that's what people are looking for, a solution to the problem that they have. Until you understand your client, you won't know what that is. And you may propose something totally inappropriate, leaving them with the impression that you just don't understand me. People need to be understood. So if you are hearing and listening is an absolute key here. If you are listening to what your client is telling you and you're providing a solution accordingly, you've got a much better chance of winning that sale than if you don't. One of the key things that we share with our clients is put yourself in your client's shoes and ask yourself, what do I want as a client from this business? and then think, how can I give it to them? It's a really, really, very, very powerful question that you can ask yourself as a business owner. What do my clients want from me? Put yourself in their shoes. And then when you jump out back in your shoes, once you understand that, or even better, ask your clients. Once you understand what it is, you can then tailor a solution accordingly. Now this is equal to acquiring and retaining clients. It never ceases to amaze me how hard people work to acquire new business and get the client on board and then go silent, never to touch the client again. Now that leaves them incredibly vulnerable to competitors. So make sure that while you're spending probably a lot of money in advertising or marketing to attract clients, or you're out there networking, so you're spending your time, which is money, while you're spending the money on acquiring new clients, make sure that you have a strategy in place to retain your current clients. And as I call it, to farm your book. So are there opportunities for further sales from your current clients? What are the opportunities that you may be missing out on by not contacting them? I did a client advisory board for one of my clients, and what I did was I personally rang a sample of clients. It was a professional services firm that I did this for. I personally rang their clients and asked them what they wanted from their clients. Did they understand the product and services that was on offer? How often were they being communicated to? How often would they like to be communicated to? Did they appreciate and read the newsletter that was currently being sent? And what else was it that they wanted from this particular organisation? And the feedback was overwhelming, that they wanted to be contacted at least quarterly. And in times of change, because this was actually during a period of the GFC, during times of change and fear, they wanted to be communicated to more. So they don't just want to hear from the business in the good times, they want to hear from them more in the bad times. So during a period of uncertainty, fear, change, or disaster, the clients are needing the business to be very, very, very visible. So really good feedback. Sales and relationship really does require empathy, authenticity from the salesperson, genuine care, and a very considered approach. So it requires you to be very clear on your unique value proposition and client service proposition. The best thing that you can do is communicate to your clients how you are different to your competitors and what they can expect from doing business with you. If they see the value, they'll buy. If they don't, more than likely you failed to demonstrate the value, or these clients are not right for your business. And if that is the case, then let them go. People are attracted to confidence, which is very different to arrogance. So if you present as such, if you present as confident, if you communicate well and deliver on your promises, you have a really great chance of creating raving fans in your client base. You've got a really great chance of being spoken about in a very favourable manner, verbally and on social media, which is key because now with social media, people can say they visited your organisation and have had a very bad experience. Now, if that goes viral, that's the last thing that you want You need to really protect the brand of your business. Even more so now with social media. And by being confident, by understanding your value, by understanding how you do your competitors, and enabling very clear communication, you've got a much chance of obtaining great referrals. Sales and relations come down to you. You are the brand ambassador. Your team are the brand ambassadors. And how you communicate your value and understand your clients will be the key. Gone are the days of the used car salesman. People will sniff you out and absolutely run a mile. So through you being sure of your unique value proposition and your service proposition, you have a much chance to attract clients right for you. Your ideal client, your avatar. Once you know your avatar, you can communicate in their language too. The better you build relationships with clients, the better your sales results. So that's sales relationships. Very much about understanding your client. And very much about defining the value proposition that you are going to offer them and what they can expect from doing business with you. Key points. The second one is what I call top of mind strategy. Now this is very big in marketing today, and you know the old saying with out of mind, out of sight. Now this is very relevant to business also. You need to ensure that you have a top of mind strategy in place for your business, so that your clients are reminded of you often. Now, as explained here, you really need to determine how often is suitable for your clients, how often is perfect to contact your clients, and how often is too much. So, for example, I'm working with a travel agent on their top of mind strategy. I've encouraged them to send out a weekly email with travel specials to his client base. Now, everyone wants to know about specials. Everyone wants to know how to save some money. And people love to take advantage of a special offer. Now, from the first email that he sent, he made $20,000 in bookings. He reminded clients why they should do business with his agency. He let them know how they save money. He added value, which is not bad for one email. So that is one example of where we've implemented a strategy and made sure that it's appropriate for the client. So yes. People love to hear about specials. Let's let it out there in front of them as much as possible. So if they're thinking about going to a particular destination, they could take advantage of a special. And it worked. Now, this is something that we cover on in our business leader success with our clients. Just touching on, what are the strategies you have in place for your business at the moment, if any, and what might be appropriate for you. And you can see from implementing one thing that is only one part of his top of mind strategy, you make $20,000 in a day. Pretty good. Now you might send out broadcast emails. It might be if changing interest rates are applicable to your clients, you might send that out if you're a mortgage broker, for example. If there's a change tax laws, you might send that out to your clients if you're an accountant. You might send out newsletters, updates on products and services that you have that you're educating clients on what you do. And if there's something topical in news, you might send out an email to your clients to outline what this actual issue is and how it affects them. It is a very powerful way to stay in the lives of your clients and top of mind. But any communication must add value and must have a strategy behind it. Just don't go, yep, I'm going to do this, and then send something out that's very random, that has a convoluted message, and some things that's not back up then with strategy. You don't want to just send out random stuff. It's not professional, and it will certainly not have the desired impact. It's a great idea to have a robust broadcast system in place to manage your communications from where you can send newsletters to your database. You can segment them. You can send targeted broadcasts easily, and ones that you can measure the effectiveness of. Because it's no use doing something target market aren't receiving it well. Now one of the best systems that I've seen is called the automatic client attraction system. And if you are interested in finding out some more details, you can send me an email to leadership@distinctleadership.com.au and having the title broadcast system, and I will send you the details. It's a system that I use, and it is absolutely fantastic. I can assure you I have tried a few. But you want to get a system in place that is easy to use and can deliver the information with an element of professionalism, and so that it doesn't take an enormous amount of your time. So that's my strategy. It must add value. It must be consistent, backed up with a strategy, and it must be at the right interval for your client base. So that's not going to be the same for every business. Okay, let's move on to clients. Now this flows on from staff to relationships, sure. And we're going to focus on very much how you acquire and retain your clients. And it's all about service. And this is where I get really passionate. I am big on providing not good, but great client service. And it is not hard to excel people's expectations now. Because people's expectations of service are not high because of the incredibly bad level of service that we get. And yet we have an epidemic on our hands of very poor service. Business, particularly small business, make these grand statements and promises, and either are incapable of delivering on the promise or unwilling to fulfill them. Now it's easy to say what you're going to do, but it is much harder to fulfill it. And as I've said before, actions speak louder than words. You can be a leader in your marketplace simply by delivering on promises. Let me tell you, you will stand out. And that's how you can be different. Return phone calls, meet deadlines, keep clients updated, actually communicate with them. This is where you can be different. I've got the man on screen there who looks very frustrated, and he is a great representation of many clients out there in the marketplace who are just absolutely fed up with bad service, and I can tell you I'm one of them. It is critical for business these days, in the days of social media, when things can go viral in merely seconds, to establish a client service proposition and deliver on it. Be accountable to your client service proposition by communicating it to your clients. Tell them what to expect from doing business with you. Be clear and concise, and then deliver. How often do you touch your current clients? Now, when I say touch, I don't mean physically. I mean, how often do you actually call your clients? How often do you speak to them? How often do you touch base with your bottom third, your middle third, and your top third clients? No doubt you're in contact with your top third, because they're generally the ones who are more active and generate revenue for you. It's the rest of your clients who are really vulnerable. Keep them all engaged. Your competitors are stalking, and they're vulnerable like sheep in a paddock to a fox. You don't know what hidden opportunities you have with your current clients. They may have had a change in circumstance that you're not aware of and that you should be. And this can be a golden opportunity to increase your revenue. Work hard on your retention strategy. Work hard to build the relationship with your client. It's just not good enough to bring them in and just leave them there, to sit there and rot, and then wonder why the client eventually leaves you. And please, above all, deliver great client service. Deliver on your promises. Don't forget what I told you about that client advisory board that I did for one of my clients in the professional services industry. Their clients wanted to hear from them often, at least quarterly. When I used to manage a set of clients, I had about 700 people on my book, and I made sure that I contacted them at least half yearly, as a minimum. And that probably wasn't enough. So client relationships is incredibly important. It's all about relationships these days, and it's getting to be that way even more so. So time to upskill and get really good at it. Because the stronger your relationships, the more referrals you'll get, the more sales you'll get, the more revenue to your business, the more profit to your business, the happier business leader. Okay, let's move on to something that I think is incredibly exciting, which is networking. Positioning yourself effectively in your marketplace is all about your leadership brand and is aligned to getting your sales and client service right in your business, because people talk. Getting out there in your community is a must for leaders, particularly in the SME market. You need to be building your profile and positioning yourself as an expert, as a leader in your industry. Now, this is something that a lot of the small to medium business owners that we work with initially have not allowed the time to do. They get very busy getting caught up in the business. And as I mentioned in the first and the second webinar, and I'm going to mention it again now because structure is so critically important to your success as a leader. And networking in your marketplace, in your society, amongst your clients, amongst your peers, is so important to building your profile, to building your confidence, and also to aligning yourself with some key people to help you within your business, to help you grow your business. So it's something that you really should be allowing time for. Choosing good networking events to attend is a great start. It's something that SMEs do a lot better than corporate. Choose events where your target market may be. So that's also the key to knowing your avatar. You may choose to attend nights specific to your industry or to your network with your colleagues and associates. There may be opportunity to meet and build alliances with high profile and key people in your industry. So make no mistake, there is absolute power in association. So some really great events might be held at your local Chamber of Commerce, the Australian Institute of Management, for example, Business Networking International. I've been a member of BNI, Business Networking International, for nearly 4 years now. And the premise to any good networking is building strong relationships with people. Now, BNI is where you meet weekly. We meet at 7 a.m. And I have built some very strong relationships with people in that group. They're people who go consistently. And I've gained a lot of referrals out of BNI. So it's a really great way to expose your business. And because you need to be talking about it every week, it's also a great way to be very sure on how you're delivering your message to market. So once you've chosen particular events to go to, and just also to mention, your local council will more than likely have some good networking events as well. And this is in addition to your industry nights or breakfasts that you may have. So once you've chosen events to go to, ensure that you do it constantly so people get to know you and will start relying on you being there. So this is another way of building top of mind strategy with associates. So key with BNI is we're expected to go every week. So people rely on me going along as the leadership expert to BNI. So they might bring a visitor along who needs help with leadership in their business. So I'm the key point of contact. Now, if I just didn't show up one week, that wouldn't go down sensationally well with that person, and I will have let them down. But they know I'm going to be there, and there's power in that. So you want to be there constantly so that people start talking about you and say, come along and meet this guy. He's always at this networking event. He's going to be able to help you in your business. I'd love to introduce you. Perfect way to meet a new potential client. Now, disclaimer, if you are networking to meet potential clients, which of course we are, that is the outcome, but you're not there to sell. You are not there to sell. You are there to build relationships and to find out about the person that you're speaking to. And I find it incredibly very interesting that so many people just want to talk about themselves, and not many ask about you. So be different. If someone asks you the question, what do you do? Certainly let them know what you do, how you help your clients, where you are, what your expertise is, but then make sure that you also ask about them and learn about them. You never know, you might be able to set up a joint venture arrangement with people, or you may be able to set up an alliance with them. Positioning yourself in your marketplace effectively may also be sponsoring a local sporting team or an event that is coming up, making a donation or volunteering your time to a cause. There are many ways to build your profile and get people talking about you in a positive way. Now, your leadership brand will also be a big part of your success when doing these things. Now, your leadership brand comes down to how you dress, how you present, how you behave, who you align with, if you are authentic, and if you deliver on your promises. All of these things will create a certain perception about you. So this comes back to being very, very conscious, not only about your leadership style and how you interact with your team, but also in your leadership brand. We are all a brand, regardless of whether we think that way or not. We all have a particular brand. If you ask 3 trusted advisors, I always suggest to ask trusted advisors how they would explain you or how they would describe you to someone, so you want someone telling you the truth. It can be really quite an eye-opener, because how you think you're being may not necessarily be how you are perceived. So it is key to be very mindful of how you want to be perceived. So when you're out networking, if you want to be perceived as someone who's knowledgeable, who's professional, who's passionate, who is motivational, courageous, who is a leader, who's dynamic, you need to start thinking about the behaviors that would support those words. So how do you need to behave? What are the actions that you need to be conscious of to support people saying those things? So say, for example, if you did want to be spoken about as a professional, inspirational, passionate person. Now, if you went to a networking event and got plastered and was acting like a crazy person and had your shirt untucked and looked quite dishevelled, I doubt people would be speaking about you like that. So how you dress, how you speak, how you present, how you behave is all part of your leadership brand. That is another enormous topic that I could go on for days, but it is certainly something that we touch on as part of the Leadership Success Audit. So that is all about marketplace. Get out there, business leaders, and build your profile in your marketplace. Build your profile in your community. Build your network of people that you can bounce ideas off, that you can align yourself to, that you can learn and grow from, and also who can learn and grow from you and your experience. It's not all one way, but it is incredibly important for you to get out and do that. And of course, you need to allow the time to enable you to do that. Make it a priority, because it really is in business. So let's recap what we have gone through today. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I forgot I had this slide included. So some food for thought for you. How do you stand out in your marketplace? Who knows about you? And what is your brand? So you can see there the very hot dollar figure. All of those things have a direct impact on the revenue of your business. People are not going to refer to you if they don't consider your brand reputable. And I'm not just talking about your business, I'm talking about you as an individual. So certainly some food for thought for you. Now let's recap leader of marketplace. So we touched on leader of sales through relationship. So it's all about adding value, defining your unique value proposition and client service proposition. Building rapport and relationships with your clients by being genuinely interested in them, by being authentic and confident. And by doing this, your sales will increase. People will buy from you. So establish a really robust client service proposition. That is key. Then, being a leader of clients, provide great client service in line with your client service promise, and you'll be different. You will stand out. Deliver on your promises. Surprise and delight your clients and communicate with them. It's not hard. It is not hard to surprise and delight clients right now. I can assure you, if you stay in touch with them, they will love it. Stay top of mind with your clients and work as hard to retain your clients as you do to acquire them. And then leader of networking, be conscious of your leadership brand, network in the right places, be part of your community and align with the right people. Learn from your peers and industry leaders. So really get out and about. So this brings our three-part webinar series to a close. I have mentioned that, or I have spoken about structure a lot through the 3 webinars today over the last couple of weeks. And we have put a program together called the 7 Days of Leadership. I mentioned that last week. And it is a program that is simple success strategies for effective leadership. So the 7 Days of Leadership provides a framework for you to operate in to propel your leadership and your profits in business. So we're really excited to be able to offer this to business leaders for an absolute steal of a price, because it also includes a 30-minute phone consultation with me. And it is on the website right now at www.distinctiveleadership.com.au under programs, and you'll see it there. It's the first listed program. So jump on it and have a listen. It's 7 CDs, sorry, and they're designed to be about 15 to 20 minutes long, so that you can have a quick and easy listen to them and get some ideas as to what to implement into a structure, what day might be appropriate for you, and put it in there and see how you go, test and measure. There's also even ideas for the weekend, because as business leaders, we can be very good at our work ethic and not necessarily fabulous at our rest ethic. So jump on there and have a look at that. As always, the opportunity is there for you to request your business leader success audit at www.businessleadersuccess.com. It is an hour spent with us reflecting on your business, so having a look at your business and the outcomes that you're getting, and also reflecting on your leadership and having a look at the results that you are getting that you may not want, and having a look at the results that you would like to get, and implementing a plan to help you get there. It's totally complimentary, it's totally obligation free, and is available to you at www.businessleadersuccess.com. Worst case scenario is you walk away with some great information that you have the opportunity to do something with. So that doesn't sound too bad to me. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us on our 3-part webinar series, and I trust you have got some fantastic value from all 3 webinars and some really great ideas that you can implement into your business for rapid results, rapid increase in results. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us, and I've really enjoyed taking you through these webinars. So look out for our new series of webinars coming up very soon. My name is Julie Hyde. We're Distinctive Leadership, and we are working with small to medium business owners to create leadership-driven profits. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.